I just saw a comment where a guy was like, he basically said, if you ate 1,000 calories a day of just donuts, you will get fat. And I replied to the comment, I'm like, I disagree. It's not even, it's purely thermodynamics. Every day, your body, let's just say a hypothetical lifter, his body with doing his cardio in the morning and his workout at night. Well, I guess if I say do his cardio in the morning, that's not realistic for you. But no, let's say he does his lift every night and then he goes home, he does his whole day like normal. His body needs 2,500 calories to operate and stay the same weight. So if he eats 2,000 calories worth of Skittles, Cinnamon Toast Crunch, chocolate milk, protein shakes, eggs, whatever, if he eats 2,000 calories total at the end of the day, he will lose weight. And if he ate 3,000 calories worth of chicken, rice, vegetables, salads, like conventionally healthy foods, he's still going to gain weight. In terms of changing how much you freaking weigh, it's just a numbers game with the calories. Now, obviously, in the context of lifting, you want to get your gram per pound of protein. So if you think your arms are lacking or any kind of body part's lacking, kind of look at your training reflectively and think, okay, for one thing, have I really even been going hard? A lot of the time, that might be the answer. But then let's say you have been, like legit, you just got to change up your style. I saw one guy comment his go-to bicep workout, and it was 16 sets. Now, I'm not going to say you're not going to get a solid pump, but I think you could get more out of less. And maybe, I don't want to say just reduce the volume, because that sounds like make it easier, That's kind of why I have a little bit of, that's kind of why I have some trouble lowering the volume, because it's like, I don't want to make it easier. But you're not just reducing the volume of the workout, you're just concentrating the intensity. Right? That's kind of how I like to look at it. But, if you've been doing something that you think might not actually be the best method, or you've been hearing people talk about different rep schemes and whatever, and it kind of makes a little bit of sense to you, try that for a few weeks, see what happens. The worst thing that's going to happen is you're going to say, all right, well, I didn't get much bigger doing that. I guess I'll try something else. Or, I'll go back to what I was doing before. And then, I guess best method, or best case scenario, holy shit, my fucking arms are huge now. I'm kind of switching up my mentality with how I approach a workout. So, you've kind of heard me say before, in terms of volume, my frequency, like I hit every muscle a little less than twice a week, because I do a 4-day split. But if you hit everything about twice a week, then in my opinion, I think you should do about 8 to 12 working sets per muscle group in a single lift. So I would say a good chest day is going to have about 8 to 12 sets total. So if you do 2 sets of incline bench, 2 sets of dumbbell bench, 2 sets of machine press, add all that up, 8 to 12 I think is about right. And I've been kind of doing 11 just arbitrarily. Like, it's within that range and it feels good. But I'm starting to think I kind of want to decrease the volume. Because I've done lifts where I was kind of in a rush and like I've done only 6 sets of biceps. I mean, that was the last arm day. And they still felt fucking pretty pumped and pretty fatigued. If you've been doing the exact same diet, or well, not diet, if you've been doing the exact same training routine and, maybe you look at a picture of yourself a few months ago or a year ago and you look exactly the same, then all that means is that the routine that you've been doing, combined with your diet, of course, is just maintaining your build. And I'm not saying there's anything wrong with that. Eventually, I'll probably reach a point where I just want to maintain where I'm at. And not everybody's a total freak, like muscle addict who's trying to get bigger month after month, year after year. So maintenance definitely is not a bad scenario. But maintaining your build, like maintaining exactly where you are, just staying plateaued, but you don't want to, like you actually do want to progress, either like bulk up or cut down, and you're just staying the same. I mean, I think we've all heard the fucking definition of insanity. Your buddy has been telling you he's bulking hard, he's eating a ton of food, and then, a month passes and he's the exact same weight. He's been eating at maintenance. He's just been eating at maintenance. Same thing if you're trying to cut down. If you're still the same weight or the same body fat percentage, or it doesn't look like you've had a visible change. As a beginner, if you're, let's say you're a little bit on the softer side, but you haven't trained before, that's when you can kind of gain muscle, burn fat at the same time, because you're That's when you're most prone to the stimuli of weight training. So as a beginner, changes in the scale aren't exactly a perfect indicator of your progress, because you can be gaining muscle and burning fat at the same time for a little bit. So you could stay the same weight, but your before and after from like a couple of months can look extremely different. So that's a little bit of a situation where it's not just about the scale, it's about using your eyes, looking at your actual body fat percentage. You cannot build muscle when you're losing fat. People love saying you can because of like doing a recomp, doing a body recomp. If you've been lifting for a couple years and you see a YouTube video that says how to recomp, build muscle and lose fat at the same time, that is delusional. Do not do not read into that. The people who are burning fat and building muscle at the same time are the people who have never lifted before, and it's their first couple of months. You can go into the gym every day, hit a lift, get a normal-ish pump, then go home and eat whatever, and you can just look the same, right? Even though you're doing everything, well, I guess not perfectly right, but even though you're doing seemingly the same stuff as the next guy who's progressing, right? You still show up, you do your lift, and you leave. If you're not kind of constantly adding new stress to your physique, stress to the body, then, I mean, the old freaking Arnold adage of trying to shock the muscle, that's legit. You just maintain the same level of intensity every lift, and you're not really pushing yourself, then it's no question that you're going to hit a plateau at some point for sure. I think that's all I got to say about that. So, the cardio, in a cutting context, I mean, everyone gets the gist. Cardio is good for you. You're going to burn more calories. You'll be able to burn more fat. But I really just can't sympathize with you guys when you're like, why would I do cardio on a bulk? Well, I'm trying to bulk. Why would I want to burn 300 calories? You're just going to fucking improve your metabolism. And just because you burn 300 calories doesn't mean, oh crap, now I got to eat 300 more calories to counteract it. So rather than doing like, a split where you hit everything twice a week, which pretty much is typical, push-pull legs or Arnold, that's usually the frequency that you guys do, or that, people do when they do those splits. I'm doing an 8-day split essentially, right? Hit everything every 4 days, and in turn, every 8 days. Rest days, if I think I need it, I'll take one. And I think that's what your approach should be to it as well. But just after doing an arm day, do you really need a rest day after that? No, you can go in and hit whatever your next muscle group is. Right? For me, rest days get sort of, they get queued up only if I'm sick. And by sick, I mean like really sick.